Hello, EDL 630 classmates. This is Susan Baxter, and I'd like to share a brief overview of my work this semester on attributes of successful bridge or accelerated entry programs. I'd like to begin with an overview of my topic. Summer bridge or accelerated entry programs are often used to transition underprepared students into college the summer prior to their freshman year. Now, some bridge programs are developed for specific populations other than underprepared or at-risk students, but those programs are not as common and they were not part of this study. This study focused on programs specifically for underprepared students. Up to 60% of students entering college today need some form of developmental education prior to the beginning of college level coursework. The majority of these students don't complete that recommended developmental plan of study, and even fewer who do take a developmental course never earn a certificate or a degree. These developmental courses add time and expense to students' educational tab. Time is money. Underprepared students lack more than just academic preparation. They also need college social skills, support networks, and transition assistance. Programs to serve underprepared students need to be holistic and comprehensive. Additionally, developmental education comes with a negative stigma, lowering students' self-esteem. So, for my study, I had looked at the prior research, which focused on developmental education. And currently, legislators are taking notice due to funding issues. Some states are even bypassing developmental education altogether, which is what piqued my interest in bridge programs and accelerated entry. So, my research question was, what are the most common program attributes found across successfully cited bridge or accelerated entry programs? So, the significance to answering this question would, of course, be money, money, and money. Students' money, institutions' money, and states' money. If successful components and attributes are identified, it would be very relevant to faculty, administrators, policymakers, legislators, and highly beneficial to underprepared students. So, for my conceptual frameworks, I chose two. Social Cognitive Theory by Bandura, and then a branch off of Social Cognitive Theory, an adaptation from that by Gibbons, Social Cognitive Career Theory. And Social Cognitive Theory, the foundation is based off of the fact that learning is done through observation and modeling and occurs in a social context. So, what I did was I looked to connect the summer bridge programs to elements of social cognitive theory, and this is a table that I had in my scholarly paper where I took the elements of social cognitive theory there on the left, observation, learning, and modeling, and tied it to common components of summer bridge programs. So you could see just from a quick glance that they aligned very closely. That the cohorts, learning communities, tutoring, faculty mentoring, and supplemental instruction, all components of summer bridge programs, can be seen through observational learning and modeling. Outcome expectations, another element of social cognitive theory, can be seen through program completion, ready for college level coursework by fall of the freshman year. The perceived self-efficacy, which is another element of social cognitive theory, would be seen in the summer bridge component of increased college success skills, increased self-confidence, completion of developmental coursework, or passing the placement test. Goal setting, again another element of social cognitive theory, could be seen in goal setting instruction, a common component of the bridge programs. Self-guidance skills, planning for future semesters, planning for course success. And then finally, self-regulation. That could be found in the bridge program component of self-monitoring, self-judgment, ties, goals, and self-efficacy together. So these were all kind of parts that I found putting it together. Now, with the social cognitive career theory, again, which was based off of social cognitive theory, it was designed specifically with first generation college students in mind. And it adds a lack of familial support, lack of college knowledge, and lack of academic preparation for college. It also adds perceived barriers and supports to Bandora's original theory. So you could kind of say that it's adding a little bit more to the affective domain and those elements to the original theory. The findings of my study, I looked at 24 successful programs, and I looked specifically at the common components and attributes. I identified those, charted them out, and then from a very, very long list of components and attributes, combining was used to shorten the list. And so once the shortened list, this is what I came up with as a shortened list. You can see it here in front of you. You can see that the most common attributes and components based on this combined list here would be tutoring, success skills, mentoring, developmental coursework, and academic coursework. And then some other common ones that would come in, maybe you could say second place: transition, self-efficacy, social integration, new student orientation, freshman success course, counseling, financial aid assistance. So you can kind of get a feel there. Again, this list was once again combined even further, and that led me to come up with some themes. And there was 4 specific themes that were identified, and they were new student orientation, academic coursework delivered utilizing peer learning communities and cooperative learning, mentoring, and integrated college support services. Now, the 4 themes were found to be prevalent in the literature review and the 2 conceptual frameworks, adding further validation to the themes. So based off of my themes and my findings, my recommendations based on my work were that individualized programs were needed to meet the needs of specific student populations being served, and to incorporate the 4 identified themes into those programs, and to collect data that measures and tracks student success to strengthen and inform the current body of research. And my conclusion is that students arrive to college underprepared. Not all, but still a large portion do. And there will continue to be a need for programs to serve these students in a cost-effective way. Summer accelerated entry programs that utilize the 4 identified themes may be the perfect start to providing the services needed. So thank you for your attention in watching my overview, and I look forward to viewing yours as well. And here are my references.